There are secret sales techniques that all the gurus are not telling you about.
His secrets have secrets.
And in this video, I'm gonna reveal them to you. I'm Dr. Dan, I'm a strategist, I'm a coach, I'm passionate about the brain because I want the irrefutable truth when it comes to communicating, particularly as it relates to your message and taking it to the masses. All right, we are going to reveal the truth as it relates to sales and sales techniques. You've all seen it, the hard closes. No one likes the movie Boiler Room with Giovanni Ribisi and Ben Affleck more than I do. In fact, I love that line when he says,
"Tell me you don't like my firm. Tell me you don't like my idea. Tell me you don't like my necktie."
That's the sales strategies we've been taught. We thought that sales looks like very pushy, always be closing. But when you break down what great salespeople do, there are tactics that they use that they don't talk about, teach, or train, but they actually do. So when I evaluate guys like Grant Cardone or the Wolf on Wall Street or other sales gurus who are great at sales, what they teach, yet what they do is different. And it's not that their motive is to intentionally keep it away from you. It's that when you do something well, you don't fully understand how it works unless you evaluate every aspect. And I'll tell you this, the greatest salespeople, they're great at sales because they have that knack for relating with humans. But if you're like me, I don't have that knack. So I evaluate what works, what the research says, and what gurus are doing it right and what makes them so good at it. Oftentimes we're led to believe that it's the push, it's the flex.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour.
It's the close that matters. But as an introvert who's shy, I've also sold millions and millions of dollars in a business, I could tell you it doesn't have to be like that. In fact, there are secrets that when you learn these, you can put these into play, get a lot of other things wrong, and still hit home runs when it comes to sales. I mentioned Grant Cardone. One of the favorite shows I've watched over the last couple of years is Undercover Billionaire. The show is about billionaires that get dropped off into a random city, and the objective is that they become a millionaire within 90 days. So they have to create a business that's gonna produce $1 million within 90 days. And so Grant got dropped off somewhere in Western Colorado, I believe. And what was fascinating to watch was how he interacted with people when he doesn't have the credibility of his own name. Nobody knows him, he's got a different haircut, he's dressed different, and he ends up in this town, and his game plan, his ideas, but most importantly, his strategy of communication was the most compelling piece of the entire show. I watched him very closely, and the first thing that jumped out at me was his emotional intelligence. His ability to use his emotions to influence somebody else's emotions. Since they didn't have a lot of money, they couldn't just spend it on a hotel and get a lot of nights. So he said, how can I save money on where I sleep? He goes directly to an RV store and talks to the owner and said, I've got some hard times. Is there any way that I could stay in one of your RVs?
You didn't have to cut me off. Think I like it never happened, but now we were nothing.
First off, brilliant idea. Second off, getting an owner to let him stay in an RV was worth its weight in gold. See, what Grant did was, first off, he approached the meeting all about them, but explained his story and built a bond that got this person to feel his journey, got to feel his plight, got to feel the situation he was in, and made him trust him and saw himself in that situation. Next thing you know, Grant's able to stay in this RV and actually even got the guy to buy him some food down at the local restaurant. And as you see his meetings and communication, you witness his ability to communicate and have this thing called emotional intelligence. That's the first secret that sales gurus are not teaching. You need to have emotional intelligence if you're gonna win people over. In fact, it has been shown that 58% of your success will come from your emotional intelligence. Not your IQ, your intellect, but your EQ, your ability to relate well with others. The second thing that sales gurus don't often talk about is your energy. Harvard University did research that showed the single largest predictor of success for leaders is what they coined positive relational energy. What sets leaders and salespeople apart is not their charisma, their influence, or even their power. Much to the surprise of the researchers, they found that the single greatest predictor of these communicators, these salespeople, these leaders in the marketplace was their relational energy. Energy exchange between people that uplifts, inspires, and renews that which it comes into contact with. So the question for you is, do you exude this positive relational energy? It's not talked about, it's hard to train on, it's hard to coach, because it must come from a very authentic place. In fact, the article talked about this, that it's gotta be genuine. It's got to be authentic. So you can't manufacture something that is raw and real. You can't think it into place. So therefore, it's hard to train on it. How do you then exude more positive relational energy so you influence more, you sell more, and you earn more?
I bet you're gonna tell me.
That comes down to passion. You just need to simply focus on the people that you serve, the problem they have that you help them solve, and then your conviction about what your solution brings to the table. See, the more you're convicted about your uniqueness, how you have something different than anybody else and how they need what you have, you can't shut up about it. You want it for them so bad that you literally can't be quiet, but you come to this place that you care about them. You're not so hung up on the product or the service as you are the people that will be served by it. You see the difference there? When you're so into people more than your thing, you always win. But you also must be convicted of your thing, that it's unique, that they need it, and that it provides the solution that they've been looking for. And the third secret is empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Have you noticed that a lot of selling and a lot of the secrets that I'm talking about revolve around people's feelings and their emotions? Why? Because people make decisions on emotions. And when you can tap into them in a very unique, raw, real way, you will win the sale. You will win the influence. You will win the revenue because you won the trust. That's what I talk about here. In the trust formula, we talk about how to gain trust, because when you gain that, they'll pay whatever price, travel whatever distance, and go buy 3 other your competitors to come to you, to see you, to buy from you. Now, how do you display empathy? 2 big things: asking questions and listening. Somebody feels cared for when you're asking them questions because you care about their needs. I argue that someone can't care about somebody if they don't know them. And if you don't know them, then you need to ask questions. And when you ask questions appropriately, you actually hijack the brain in a very positive way that gets them focused on their needs and you knowing what they are. The other thing closely attached to asking more questions to display your empathy is to listen. David Augsburger said, "Feeling heard is so close to feeling loved that most people can't tell the difference." So when you actually listen to somebody, like authentically listen, they feel loved. And the name of the game, whether you're online or you're offline, no matter what business you're in, when you can get somebody to know, like, and trust you, you will win their business. And I'll let you in on one ultimate hack that overrides almost every other secret when it comes to sales. That is the ability to tell an effective story. I bang this drum all day, every day. Why? I teach my clients exactly how to tell stories. Why? Because the human brain thinks in stories. It takes in information and it turns them into story. So when you could tell a story, you minimize how much they have to work to believe and to behave differently. Nothing moves somebody into action. Nothing builds more value. Nothing will change somebody's belief like a story can. So if you want to sell more, if you want to raise your fees, you want to earn more, you want to influence more, you need the ultimate hack, which is storytelling. Watch this video right here where I teach you the power of story and how to do it more effectively. There is a formula to telling a right story the right way, and Hollywood has nailed it. We need to listen. When you do it appropriately and you have the right blueprint, you'll crush it every time. There you have it. I like to bring you the truth as it relates to the brain science, the research, and real practical results. If you're looking for a guru to teach you how to close better, to flex more, and to push people, I'm not your guy. If you want to know how to influence better based on the science, based on research, I'm your guy. I will show you exactly how to do it without being pushy and driving real life results. Comment below, leave me a like. We'll see you on the next one.